Welcome into a very, very special episode of Pro Football Ireland. We are on the NFL International Media Stage here in Radio Row in New Orleans, Louisiana. Yes, Super Bowl 59 is on Sunday, but this potentially it probably is the biggest day in the history of the NFL on the island of Ireland, because the Pittsburgh Steelers have been announced this morning as a designated team for a game in Croke Park in 2025. Lads, I mean, where do we start here? We know it's been building up for so long. I'll start with you, Jason, in chronological order here. This is a historic day. You know, we're all sports fans in Ireland. We've all been to Croke Park. We all know how important the stadium is to us. But to see this be announced today, it's so much more than, I think, even the grasp of what we can understand right now. It's huge.
Michael, we've made it. I mean, everything we've been building towards is this game in Dublin.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. We did it. We did it.
Let's go, yeah.
I can die happy now. We've made it. I mean, look, it's the fans, the excitement at home. It's just, it's amazing to see. We knew this moment was coming for a while, and to have it confirmed today, it's just a historic day. First of many, let's hope. And, well, yeah, it's a big day for Irish people.
Hey, Michael, I'm going to own it, boys. Show of hands. Who had a tear come when the announcement finally did? I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I see all 4. Let's own that.
That video was unbelievable.
Hey, for years, this is the day we've been waiting for years. You just got me there when you said it's a very special episode of Pro Football Ireland. We've been waiting to say that for at least 2.5 years, and we're only 2.5 years old as a brand. It's incredible, and you listening right now, it's you. It's every single one that was watching games for years. It was once a lonely sport, and people didn't necessarily have an outlet to talk to. Look, we're the face of it, but there's a community at home, and we earned it, and we were loud enough, and we said, boys, let's make some noise, and girls, boys and girls, let's make some noise back home. We did, and now next season we're going to see it.
I go there, I say, anybody that's went to an event, anybody that's interacted, anybody that's went to an AFI game, anybody that's went to the college football game, there's just a real fantastic community across the island of Ireland, and to see us make history with such a big team is massive.
And I will let Dara in. Thank you, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. And
thank you, Pittsburgh
family.
Steelers.
There couldn't be a better team for this moment.
Yeah. These lads want to get you in
the
there.
Irish roots. It's
massive.
It's incredible. It's just meant to be.
We'll talk about it in a wee second. Dar, you've been in Croke Park enough times this year, or over the last 12 months. So.
Yeah, I'll happily go once more.
Yeah. Did you think? I know you're a young man. You're a little bit younger than the rest of us. Did you think you'd see this day?
Yeah, well, like as you say, from my generation growing up, we always had some semblance of the NFL, had a major presence in the UK the whole time I've been following. I can't imagine how you lads feel, having gone from years where the NFL was such a small entity on this side of the Atlantic, and now to have a game it's just surreal to see it actually come true. It's not the same as we've seen the rumours and all swirling for the last couple of months, but to see the concrete evidence of the game it's just unbelievable.
We've been joking about Ulstermen all week, Dara, and for anybody I'm aware that we're going to have a new crowd watching this today, but for people wondering, you've said it, Jason, the Rooney family have synonymous links to the island of Ireland, coming from Newry in County Down, emigrating in the 1800s. So I don't think there is any other team in this league that has the connection to the island or to any part of the world that the Rooney family have. And I think that's what makes it so special. So Mark, you said it, a huge thanks to the Rooney family, to the Pittsburgh Steelers organisation. And I can only imagine that former US Ambassador Dan Rooney is looking down today, smiling, because he obviously, and very sadly, is not going to be here to see this. But it's such a proud day for the family,
Let's go somewhere else. The tears when you say that. Honest to God, deeper, they backed it up. They backed it up, the Pittsburgh Steelers. When Dan Rooney Jr. comes over and we have that press conference, is that 2 years ago now, Michael? We were up in Croke Park. No, literally the
2023. I think it was May 2023.
There was something in the air. And there has been something in the air ever since that day. And look, that's when the rumours really, really began. But when you say stuff like that, he's looking down. I wish he was there. I hope they're going to be a sweet on the day, I hope, and they have a ball of time. But they really meant it, Michael. They really genuinely meant it.
And to get the game in Croke Park, that is just
the mecca.
I can't wait to be able to show off Croke Park to an American audience. That's always been the part, the one structure in Ireland that I've been always held so proudly, and so dear to my heart. As just it's such a cool stadium. It's got so much history. It's capacity-wise, it can play with the NFL. It would be one of the top dogs in the NFL if it was there. So like, it's just so cool to see like this mecca of football, as you said, over the years, be able to finally host this.
No, yeah, Jason, I believe the attendance is around 76,000. I'll confirm that whenever we find out today from GA. But a large attendance at this game. We'll talk about the opponents in a minute. I can't, like, I never thought I'd see this day. I'm going to be completely upfront and honest with you. I thought we wouldn't see it. I thought there'd be too many barriers because we know how sacred that ground is. We know how difficult. I mean, we've had Aussie rules there, but outside of music concerts, we haven't really had that. I had a chance to speak to Peter McKenna, and he almost said that stadium director, and he said it was like a new era for the stadium. What do you expect from Croke Park? Because I'm just going to say it straight up. It needs to be the green tiles. We need to have the green tiles.
Oh my God, iconic.
It needs to be green
wild.
tiles. And we need to find a way to just make it look, I think, different from any international game. It needs to stand out.
Absolutely.
It will stand out no matter what.
We've got to own what Croke Park is when the game's being hosted. You know, let's not shy away from that. Let's bring as much Irishness to the game as we can. The hill. I mean, an NFL game sitting in the hill. I imagine there'll be seats there. Like the amount of history that's gone on that field. We've all seen it with our respective teams. Some more recently than others.
Oh yeah, baby.
And now to see the sport we all love so much being played right in front of us, where we've seen all those iconic moments from football to hurling. It's just incredible. It's going to be surreal, pinch myself type stuff when we're in the stadium. Yeah,
the hill, I believe, was seeded for rugby with Leinster, Mark, over the last few months. We'll obviously go and check and confirm that. I can imagine now the amount of DMs you already have, Mark, looking for tickets.
And I'm glad that everyone has an opportunity to be sending us DMs, because what an amazing moment it is. But yeah, it's like when you're in Croke Park, and we're all very familiar with Croke Park, there is those pictures that are blown up in different corners of the stadium of historic moments, whether that's U2 playing or whether it's an All-Ireland final. 1997, that's the last time, and it was a pre-season game. I have it written on the back of my shirt right now about that game that they had. And people will be there to witness it. People have been saying, oh, I wish I was there, I wish I was there. There's, what did you say, 75,000? 75,000 people now are going to be able to claim I was there. I think that's extremely exciting.
And Croker's been done up since that point as well, so it's massive. I mean, Dara, I do want to go a little bit closer to home for us. We talked about the links to the Rooney family as well, and the links that the Steelers have. I would love to see Nuri have his chance that week, whenever it happens, to see the Steelers head up the road and maybe practice in Park Esler or something. Obviously, we're talking on our own backs here, but I'd love to see not just Dublin, but the whole island have a chance to.
Oh, like the whole island, it's going to be the talk of the country for a week. Like, you know that.
It's talk of the country right now as well.
It's going to be the talk of the country for a long time before. But yeah, I was just thinking of the point you made there about how you want to differentiate it from all other NFL games. Like, I was fortunate enough to get to the first game in Brazil. I was fortunate enough to get to the first game in Germany, in Frankfurt, and I'm sorry for flexing this one. From going to those games, you can see the NFL are ramping it up every single year. Brazil was unlike anything I'd ever seen, and they're getting really, really good at expressing the country's culture and giving that taste of that culture to a global audience. And so I'm just so excited.
What's the taste of Irish culture?
Oh God, what are we saying?
Food, soda bread.
Potato, get us.
We're going to have a college football game at the end of August, and then we're going to have an NFL game at some point between September and the end of the year. That's a big few months for us. Like, that's massive.
I don't like leaving Cork, but I might need to relocate. I might need to just set up base in Dublin, because the crack up there is going to be
next, surely.
Let's just jump the gun here. Now, look, the opponent for this game is going to be announced at a different point, but just to list them, we're going to give one game that we want to see each. Let's list them here, who they could play. Obviously, you got the in-division, you got Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, but also we're looking at situations where Buffalo, Miami, who are, as we know, playing in Madrid, so we're not sure. We'll just keep them in the mix at the minute anyway. Green Bay, Minnesota, Indianapolis, and Seattle. Dara, I'm going to give you the obvious one on that list because you're a fan. But
very grateful.
Mark, I'll start at the back here. Who would you like to see if you had to pick a team to play?
How exciting is this that it's this year? It's this year. We can actually look at the teams that they're playing. And this is the next step of, we were speculating about getting a game, and we're saying, okay, what's next? Let's try and figure out this team. I just want to see the Pittsburgh Steelers. I will be a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers in as big a capacities as I can, being in the press. Give me any of those teams. I hope they dunk on them for their own sake. But the Green Bay, I mean, the fans we saw in London only a couple of years ago, that was special. I guess I just don't want them. I want it to be packed out with Pittsburgh
Have you a matchup
Steelers.
that you'd like?
That's
Is
it
there-
right there. It's Green Bay.
You want Green Bay? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
he stuck your answer.
Oh well,
Darren, so.
he
We
stuck
can
the
all
obvious
take an
one.
answer.
Well, no, listen. As great as Green Bay would be coming over with the links with Dan Whelan and whatnot, like there are plenty of other options on the board. And you said Miami to keep them in the mix. Like the idea of doing 2 games is
that could be really interesting.
Not completely out of the question, but like all of these teams you've listed are getting massive markets. Like Buffalo, the popularity of the Bills is increasing exponentially in the UK and Ireland, and like obviously teams like Miami's just been a huge brand here for years.
Who would you like to say, Jason?
The matchups on the field would obviously be interesting. There's a lot of big teams there, but I just want Dublin to just be full of crack. And there's some.
Oh, it definitely will.
There's some great fan bases you've listed there, like Buffalo, Minnesota, Seattle. That's a long journey for them, but we've seen some of those teams in London in recent years, and those fans that fly over for the game are always great fun. Good spirited, mixing with the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, who I'm sure will show out in force.
I do think the US fans will travel heavily for this. Like,
Big time.
There'll be fans travelling without any guarantee of getting into the game. They'll just want to
Big
go
time.
and experience Dublin and see the city.
30,000 hotel rooms.
Dublin and
Isn't
Ireland.
it?
Ireland as a whole is going to see massive benefit, because that's what happens when the college game comes over. People do go and view the whole of the island, really. So
You're acting like a man that's not going to go on a 2 or 3 month hiatus here come Monday morning after the Super Bowl.
I've
mark, I
already
tell you that.
emailed work for the week off trying to get it right.
Well, we'll see whenever it is. Who knows? You got about 16 weeks there where you have to email, like, I can't do this weekend. I can't do this weekend. Let's find out. I think we'll hear probably closer towards the schedule release whenever it is. Really, really looking forward to it. But, look, first off, I'd love to see any game, and we're going to get a game which is even better. So I'd love Buffalo. I'd love Buffalo because I think obviously Josh Allen won MVP last night, but you're getting a quality matchup there. Bills Mafia travel. There's a good few Bills fans in Ireland as well. The Bills era, Trev, the lads as well, and obviously you mentioned the UK and Irish Packers. There's a lot of great fans out there that support every team. I think it's mad that we're having this conversation. It really, really is. And I'm conscious as well, and I do want to say this before I forget about this. I am conscious that we have a generation watching this today that would have watched highlights a week later on Network 2, would have watched the Super Bowl. Some people used to sit in Kerry and Cork and used to listen to British Armed Forces radio because they couldn't get it anywhere else.
We're talking about people
it's
that used
massive
to
for
be
people today.
subscribed to Sports Illustrated and get magazines 3 weeks after the fact. Like, that's what's so impressive about this. Like, and I referenced it at the top. It was a lonely sport for a minute because there wasn't an outlet. It was something that you did almost alone. Like, I know with my own friends, like, what were you doing on a Sunday evening? I'm at home. There's no point telling them about the NFL because it doesn't relate in the same way. You're not talking about the Premier League or whatever the next day. So it is now that it's a great occasion, and we're talking about the teams that we want to see, but it's like I'm kind of a bit of a homer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know where this will come. I've transitioned into I want it to be their turf, really, and I really want everyone to get behind the team because they're the ones that
They've pushed it.
brought it here. So it's like if you're a neutral and you're listening for the first time, I would encourage you to do the Pittsburgh Steelers because they're the ones that put their money where their mouth is, and they're the ones that's bringing it here.
You can check out their social channels at Steelers Ireland on X, on TikTok, and on Instagram as well. I can only imagine some of the things that they've got planned over the next few months. It's been an absolute honour to work with those guys and to be involved in such a historic announcement. I'm really glad we went about 20 minutes without crying here. So I'll end it in this. We are going to do Super Bowl picks before we go, actually, because we're on this stage. We might as well. Legacy. I asked Dan Rooney this morning. What do you want the legacy of this to be? Now we're just going to be hypothetical here. I will say on record, and I said it before, I've said it to Sky Sports, I've said it to the BBC, etc. I believe that this game will put a marker for the European market. I genuinely don't think even we realise how mad this is going to be in a good way. I think Dublin is going to set itself as a marker, and hopefully at some point in the future, whenever that might be, that we keep getting more and more opportunities to host games. I think this is going to be as big as Brady's debut in Munich. I think the crowd's going to be absolutely bananas. And I can't wait to whenever this game is. I can't wait, man. Jason, what do you think?
Let's hope we take over the streets, just like we had college game day over
Notre
this year.
Dame Street, so we could find a way to put a name in there, couldn't we?
Notre Dame Street. Let's get NFL Network over. Let's just bring it all over. The McAfee show right next to us. It's the city. Some cities are so big that they might kind of consume the NFL. You might be in parts of it and not even realise what's going on.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen in Dublin. I think everyone in that city will be having a pint of Guinness and looking forward to the game and hopefully attending the game. Those tickets are going to be hard to get.
NFL.com/Dublin, I believe, is the link for tickets. If you do want updates on that, we don't have tickets. Don't ask us.
Hey, and
People
Michael,
already have.
I can predict your
Oh,
DMs
here,
for the
they're
next
gone
6
already.
months.
They're gone for the last 2
Michael, what about that video that they put out and it comes up NFL Dublin? Like, that was such a boom.
But
you have to
expecting give it to the NFL UK.
Oh, they pull out all the stuff. That video they put together. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. Go and check out their socials. They've had content now. Like, they've behind the scenes, they've been working hard, and it's stunning. But when that comes up, NFL, and look, Ireland-wide, I do want to stress it's so important that the country's getting it. But when it comes up NFL Dublin, that was a detail that I hadn't thought about. That was when it hit me. You were there when I saw it. I had serious goosebumps. I have serious goosebumps now. I'll give it back to you because the tears are almost about to come back down again.
From Port Rush to Port Marnock. Do you like that one? I've been saying it all week. Dara, I got ask you, but legacy. But I mean, you know, I think we've already sort of hit the nail on the head. You just want to have a memorable weekend. I feel like it's going to be our Super Bowl whenever it happens. It really feels like it's going to be bigger for the Super Bowl than the Super Bowl next year for us whenever this happens.
It's going to be giant, and like we're only just scratching the surface of what this could become in years down the line. Like this is the start of something special, not the culmination of something special, you know. And it can be both, like, you know, because it's been a long journey, as we've been saying the whole time. It's like we've got this whole devoted fan base, like as much as like you've got these devoted fan bases to other sports in Ireland. There is something special about the NFL fan base. There's something special about staying up till 5 a.m. to watch a game. Yeah,
it brings people together.
And football in general, you know, there's a lot that's happened in Ireland that has pushed momentum towards this game. Whether it's the domestic game, you know, my brother Stephen, he played the sport for 15 years. We see Ireland playing internationally now. Flag football is growing. All of that works to make Ireland a destination for a game like this, because it's a lot more, you know, it's for people from playing it, watching it, all across the board. It's a big day and everyone's contributed to that.
Hopefully all those people that you've mentioned get a chance to go to this game. We're here at the Super Bowl, so we might as well do this before we go. Super Bowl picks. There's heads over there. Go get the heads and we'll have a bit of crack. Yeah.
I was going to do Lee Corso headgear with these two bad boys.
Well, if we're allowed to do it, yeah.
I don't think it'd fit.
Okay, so give me that.
You want this guy?
No, the next one. Give me the next one. I believe that this team are going to win the Super Bowl on Sunday. I believe that Saquon Barkley is going to rush for over 180 yards. He breaks a record on the first play. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl. 34-21. That's too convincing, isn't it? 34-21. We're due like a sort of semi-blow as Drew Brees walks past us casually. Congrats to him for getting in the Hall of Fame probably next year, first ballot. Jason, go on ahead.
That's my bold prediction. We're going to have the first ever tight end MVP in this game. Kansas City Chiefs win close games. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a coin flip. And it's good. I'm not betting against the Chiefs in this one.
Dar, you got? Keep marching to the end here.
I don't know how much it necessarily comes down to this guy, because he's just going to be unbelievable no matter what. But we're going to go. Can I do like a headgear kind of like do the wave? Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, I got the Eagles.
I was going to say, have you?
Let's go 27-24. Cracking game. It was billed as the best individual player versus the best roster. Best roster. Philadelphia Eagles. Does that make us a 3-1, boys? Philadelphia Eagles 27-24. They get redemption after losing 2 years ago and having to go through the mud for 2 seasons. They're back, baby.
Pro Football Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
I can't wait for Pro Football Irlanda later on in the year, and we're changing the graphics the whole week for that. It's going to be a crack in Madrid. But we have a game coming to Dublin. Lads, it's been an honour chatting to you this morning. Honour. And just a massive thanks to everyone for watching us over the last couple of years. To get to this stage, it has been amazing. You can check out the NFL UK and Irish social media channels to find out information on updates for the game. But
do you know what, Michael? If you're listening in right now, it's like we don't represent all voices. It's not like every single NFL fan is a fan of this podcast in particular. I know that we've tried to bring as much as that community together as has been possible. And I think that has been massive, but I have to give, and I think everyone listening to this, wants to acknowledge the work that you did bring that together. We're no,
Absolutely.
seriously, it's like I know we've all had played a role, whether that's the fans, whether that's shout out Tom McCormick, who's been the fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers for the longest time. There's been boys going to the domestic game, like you said, for years, Jason. But I really think it took someone to glue this whole thing together, and I just want to give props to you because Michael, here, I love you, man. I love you, man. You did it. You trusted us. But it's like it has been amazing what you've done doing this. And I mean, I think deep down, if there's a Hall of Fame, you need to go in it because
couldn't agree more. First ballot,
Egypt.
I've no doubts that a game was always eventually going to come here. But I don't know, would it have come here in 2025 without your
it's
work?
been accelerated,
Right.
absolutely.
I will slip you as the 20 quid sterling euro. I appreciate it, lads. Thanks.
it's a bit more expensive than that over here, Michael.
Well, here, I appreciate all you boys, really, and I appreciate everybody that works with us behind the scenes as well. It's a complete team effort to get where we've even been this season. So appreciate NFL and UK for their UK and Ireland for their support as well. Check out their socials. NFL.com/Dublin, I believe, is the link to find out ticket updates and more information. We don't have tickets. So I'm joking. Please don't ask us. We don't have tickets. But certainly, this has been a historic day. Thank you very, very much, and we'll chat to you soon.